The distal limb bandage is one of the most commonly used bandages in a horse. Some of its uses are to provide support, use as a bandage to cover any wounds, to help reduce swelling, and also as a post-surgical bandage. These are the materials for a proper distal limb bandage. Your first layer, if you're concerned about a wound, is your telfa, followed by your cling, which will then be followed by the cotton layer, which is also a combi material. The next layer is your compression layer, which is the brown gauze, followed by the layer that will keep the whole wrap together, your vet wrap, and your elasticon that will help keep any debris out of the bandage. Okay, with your horse well sedated and your bandage material, make sure you don't put it on the floor. Make sure you have a stool or some sort of ledge to put the bandage material on so it stays clean and out of the way. You'll begin with your first layer by covering the wound with your telfa. It's very important to not touch the sterile field in the middle, so make sure you use the sides and the back that won't be touching the horse. You also will then take your sterile cling and begin wrapping. Make sure that this is wrinkle-free, and you wrap from the front of the cannon bone around to the back and then follow it back. Make sure you cover all aspects of your wound. It's important to remember that this layer is not a compression layer. It's simply to keep the wound covered and prevent any slipping of your telfa bandage. The next layer is your combi layer, or your cotton-like material. It's important to make sure that you cover from the coronary band to the carpus, and always make sure you start your bandage at the coronary band to prevent any slipping. You will again wrap the leg from the front of the limb to the back of the limb. It's important to make sure that this layer is free of any wrinkles and flat against the skin. Once you finish this layer, you'll move on to your brown gauze layer, which is also your compression layer, and it is okay to take your gloves off at this point. Again, with the brown gauze layer, you do roll from the front to the back and always begin at mid-cannon. I like to get the first roll around the limb and then begin my compression. You'll apply even pressure and make sure you're covering 50% of your last wrap with your continued wrap and overlap. So you'll continue to overlap. You do want to make sure that you keep 1/2 inch of the combi or cotton layer showing at the bottom of your wrap as well as the top. You'll then spiral back up the leg and aim to finish your roll of brown gauze at the top of your wrap. Your next layer is your vet wrap layer, which will keep the bandage together. Again, begin in the middle. You will place this layer snug, but it is not used for extra compression. Again, make sure that there are not any wrinkles present in this layer of the bandage either. For your final layer, if you're wanting to keep any debris or shavings out of your bandage, you'll take a layer of elasticon and just seal off the bandage. There should be no tension on this layer because it's just to provide a seal to keep the shavings or debris out. Apply one at the top and apply one at the bottom. It's always a good idea to have your elasticon re-rolled before you put this layer on so that you make sure there's no tension on this layer. Once your bandage is complete, you just need to continue to monitor the bandage for any slipping. If the bandage becomes soiled or moist, just make sure that you immediately change the bandage.